Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world you are joining today from. Welcome to Sattvic Toastmasters. Just as I was discussing before the meeting started, what happens when we combine two things together in a chemical formula? This club is just another experiment on the same. When you combine healthy lifestyle and Toastmasters together, I hope that will make a best combination. Today we have a wonderful program lined up. A keynote speech by Dr. Mary, continuation to what we discussed last week, and a wonderful speech by Toastmaster Shahid, our upcoming Toastmaster Shahid. Well, let's start the program. Toastmaster is a wonderful platform started almost a century ago, which has helped people across the world to gain confidence, to gain communication skills, the skills that will help them to scale up both in professional and personal life. I myself is a witness for both Toastmasters and also Sattvic lifestyle. And today we are going to see the combination of both in the theme of the day, talking about how to manage our mental anxiety. We have a keynote speech lined up by Dr. Mary Thomas. Then we have prepared speech section. So we have one prepared speech. Then other section is impromptu speaking. Our life is an impromptu speech, right? Where we get to speak on the spot. And how do we prepare for that is practicing a lot. The last section is evaluation section. We have a couple of role players who will be evaluating or giving feedback in multi-dimensions. We have for a meeting a timer, arc counter, and grammarian. We have an arc counter, Brunda, who will be helping us to clean our speeches by removing the crutch word that we use. We have grammarian, distinguished Toastmaster. We have Lakshmi, who is joining today and will be helping us that. Before we start, let me invite distinguished Toastmaster Lakshmi to introduce the word of the day and idiom of the day before we kickstart our meeting. Lakshmi, can you please introduce the word of the day?
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghu. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Lakshmi, and I'm a language evaluator for today. So in my role as a language evaluator, I would be keeping tab of all the good usages of the language and the not so good usage of the language during the meeting. And now I will also be giving you the word of the day and idiom of the day, which we all are going to use throughout the meeting today whenever we speak. So the word of the day today is trauma. It is a noun. The meaning of the word is it is a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. So if we need to put it into a sentence, it would be something like children exposed to chronic stress or trauma may also have problems with learning, memory, and concentration. Another example can be the two men bonded over their shared traumas. Would anybody in the meeting like to use the word and give us an example? You can go ahead and mute and give the sentence.
A death in the family is a traumatic experience.
Wonderful, Dr. Mary. Now the idiom of the day is to de-stress. Sorry, the idiom of the day is to take your mind off something, the meaning of which is to de-stress. If we need to put it into a sentence, it would be a quick walk in the mountains helps me to take my mind off the difficult problem in the office. Would anybody like to try? The idiom is to take your mind off something. Yes, you
Hello.
can go ahead, unmute and give the pen.
Can I try?
Yes, sure.
Normally, to take my mind off, I go for a trekking.
Great, great. So I would encourage all the speakers today to use the word of the day and idiom of the day throughout the meeting. And I would also request all of you to encourage the speakers by giving a thumbs up whenever they are using the word of the day and idiom of the day. I'll come back with my report later during the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Raghu.
Thank you very much, DTM Lakshmi. She'll also be helping us to clean our language by submitting a report on good usages and improvement areas in our language. We have our timer, Toastmaster Namita, who is going to help us by timing. Because unless you respect some others' time, people will not respect you. That is a fact. Whether you are in profession, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are in person. Means when I say that, you are talking to somebody else in your personal life. You need to respect people's time. And today, Toastmaster Namita will help us to be on time. Namita, do you want to quickly show the timer cards and how will you help us as a timer today?
So, Raghuji, so my role is of timer and time is of essence, especially in my field of IT. In a status call, if you speak more than I require to speak, people take offense because they have to go out of the meeting and join another meeting. And for that, whenever the speaker reaches the minimum required time, I will flash my green card. When the speaker reaches near to the maximum time, I'll flash my yellow card. And when the speaker has reached the maximum amount of time, I will change my background to red. Now, for the speakers, I know their timing. For Mary, it is 15 to 20 minutes. So for Mary, I'll show my green card at 15 and my red card at 20. For Toastmaster Shahid, I will flash my green card at 5 and red at 7. For table topic speakers, I'll flash my green card at 1, yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2. And for the evaluator, I will flash my green card at 2 minutes, the yellow at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red one at 3 minutes. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you very much. Vrinda, do you want to introduce yourself as an accountant?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Raghu. So, hello everyone. My name is Brunda and I am the accountant for the day. During the meeting, I will listen to crutch words such as and, well, but, so, and you know. So, I will listen for filler word sounds such as and I will note when a speaker repeats a phrase such as this means, and some long or short pauses. And I will give my report towards the end of the meeting. And back to you, Toastmaster Raghu.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vrinda. Guess what? There are some clubs which have a bell and they keep ringing the bell as soon as somebody uses the touch words. I know that's kind of distracting, but people use that for the members to understand that using R's and O's is not that good for teachers. But coming back to our meeting, now it's time for Dr. Mary Thomas. She is one of the renowned doctors and been helping couples and also the individuals across Philippines and Malaysia to rebond together and improve their mental health over a period of time. It's time for her to start her keynote speech. Dr. Mary Thomas, all yours. She has requested everyone to keep your notes ready, your pen and paper, before she starts. Please keep it ready.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Raghu. Before I start my session, I would like to tell the audience, please have a pen and paper in hand. This is going to be an interactive session. I would not be doing much of the talking. You would be doing a lot of writing, thinking, and maybe a little bit of talking. Let's start the session. I'm going to recap what I did the last week. All right. Can you see my screen share? Raghu?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Thank you. The first one, of course, my topic was mental health and you. Today, it is still about mental health and you, but I'm focusing on stress and anxiety. What I explained last week was the definition of mental health, the classifications of mental conditions, which are two, neurosis and psychosis. Today, I will only focus on neurosis, even today or for later sessions, because psychosis has to be handled by a psychiatrist. Neurosis, anxiety disorders, and all the other different examples. I would touch on anxiety disorders because that is the most common neurotic condition among the population. I would like to reiterate that the individual who has neurosis is still able to function within societal norms and is in touch with reality. This person knows exactly what is going on, but he has some uncontrollable emotions and mental manifestations. That is what happens in neurosis. They are functional. They can go to work, can get up in the morning, take care of children. They are functional. Today's topic is, of course, about stress and anxiety. Let's take a look at a very simple definition of stress. Stress is a state of worry, mental and emotional tension caused by day-to-day activities or a difficult situation, a trauma that has happened in the family, for example. Those are things that bring stress upon a person. Stress also, some people can be stressed by the simple act of commuting to work. That's also stressful. What is stressful to me may not be stressful to you, and what is stressful to you may not be stressful for me. So stress is very subjective. There is no clear definition, and it is not confined within a box and say, yes, this is stress. No, that is not stress. All right, I'm going to explain that later on. Anxiety, in simple terms, is prolonged stress causing nervousness, unease, or a feeling of imminent, a feeling that something terrible is going to happen over time, or a negative outcome. So that's anxiety. Now I'm going to go into this one before we get into our exercises. Anger. Anger is one of the most common emotions that a person has. And it is also the most common emotion that is expressed externally. You see angry people everywhere, and you see angry emotions, angry reactions. It's so common that people think it is normal. Let me tell you very clearly, it is not normal. It is not normal for a person to be angry, but that doesn't make him a bad person. Anger is an expression of an emotion which the person does not know what that particular emotion is. That is why we have the anger iceberg. What you see externally in this white area here is what we see, which is the person is angry. But below that, he has all these feelings here: disappointment, exhaustion, regret, trapped, feeling trapped, hurt, anxious, rejected, all of this because the person does not know how to self-reflect or does not know how to express that feeling. What does he show? Anger. Anger is the most common emotion. This person has probably seen his or her father angry all the time. Mother is angry. The boss is angry. Colleagues are angry. Everybody seems to be angry. But no one wants to check what is happening underneath that anger. Now, the people who are able to, let's just say somebody feels very exhausted. Now, his reaction is going to be anger. But he doesn't realize it is actually exhaustion, fatigue, being tired. All he knows is that he or she is frustrated. Boom, there we go. Looking at the first victim, attacking that first victim. Now, if you know why you are angry, let's just say you're exhausted. We go back to the same example. A person is exhausted, hardly gets any sleep, maybe 4 hours of sleep, not enough food. There are some vitamin deficiencies. There are nutrient deficiencies. There are, time, lack of time. 24 hours don't seem to be enough for any of us, isn't it? We want to do this, we want to do that. We want to do so many things. Plus, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of our children. We have to take care of in-laws. We have to take care of outlaws. We have to take care of the car even. Tell me about that. We even have to take care of our cars. Now, who won't be exhausted? Because that is not what we were meant to be. Yes, at one time we were supposed to be in the jungle looking for food, but that is a different adaptation. If we are all going back to the jungle looking for food, our adaptation will be very different. You think we'll dare to be angry? Well, we've got a lion which can come after us and more angry than us. So our adaptations are different. We can climb a tree if there's a bear following us. Now here we are trapped. We don't know what to do because we have to go to work. We have to take care of our children. We have to service a car. Just think about it. So there are a lot of angry people. If anyone tells me they're not angry, they're not telling the truth. There are a lot of angry people in the world. Now let's go back to interactive session. Please take your pen and paper, and I'm going to give you a timer. Please give 2 minutes. 1 second. Oh, I think I'll
You
leave it.
need a separate timer for 2 minutes?
Yes.
Oh, just give me a second.
Yeah. But please add it into my speech time as well.
Yes, that timer
Okay.
is already on.
Okay. All right, everybody. Pen and paper in hand. Write down 5 or more things that cause you stress. Be very honest about yourself. You're not going to share this with anyone. No one is going to see it. Maybe Pramod is going to peep into what Lakshmi is going to write, but no peeping there. All right, this is personal. So please write down 5 or more things in the next 2 minutes that is causing you stress. It could be something as terrible as work colleagues who are on your case, or it could be something as simple as waiting in the traffic light and getting edgy and angry, irritated. Just write them down. 5 or more, nothing less.
Two minutes are done.
All right, great. Next one. Write down, again, a 2 minutes timer. Write down 5 areas of your life. Remember, it's not an event. 5 areas of your life that you feel anxious about. Examples: anxious about money, anxious about children's education, anxious about their health, anxious about your own health, anxious about home arrangements, anxious about in-laws who are staying with you and creating problems, anxious about the future, anxious about COVID. There are many. Definition of anxiety and being anxious is a prolonged way of thinking about your stress. Write down 5 of them.
Two minutes are up.
All right. Thank you, timer. Let's get back to your list. We have written down the problem. Now let's look at solutions. The first batch of what you are going through as stress. Choose 5 and write down a possible solution for 5. Now, if any of you get into any issues, you do not know what the solution is, you may speak up or you can private message me. That's also a 2 minutes. What are the solutions that you can find for your 5 or 7 stresses that you have? Be honest about it. Take the bull by the horns and find a solution. Do not live with stress. Find a solution. Write down one solution only for each of your stresses. 2 minutes, please, timer. Any questions? Juhi, you have a question?
What if the solution is not that evident or seems quite difficult, like an uphill climb, you know?
You see, it's how our mind works. If you want to look for an easy solution, if you want to look for an easy solution, really there is. You got to think harder. There must be a way. There's always a way. I always tell my patients that there's always a way. The thing is, do you want to take it? Sometimes you have to take tough decisions or make tough decisions for the sake of your peace of mind. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if you continue having stress and anxiety. It kills. I'm not joking. It kills. So is your life valuable? Or somebody else's life is more valuable than yours?
2 minutes are up.
Okay, great. Next one. Write down solutions for all those areas where you wrote that you have anxiety. Write down one solution, will do. It may seem ridiculous. It may seem difficult. It may seem, how am I going to do this? Who's going to listen to me? No, write it down. Write them down. All right, time's up. Pramod is a happy man. Doesn't seem to have anything to write. Okay. All right, we're done. I would like you to take a good look at what you have written and put a date. I know this sounds very, something ridiculous because you've been going through the difficulties for such a long time. How is it that you're going to solve this problem so easily? But trust me when I tell you that you can solve it easily. I'm just going to, is there anyone who's willing to talk about just one of their stresses? Just one. Yes. Just one will do. Okay.
Yeah, so stressors are the causes of anxiety.
Yep.
Stressors, right?
Right.
Okay. I frequently see my family crossing my boundaries. I'm a grown-up adult and my parents still treat me like 10-year-old very frequently, and that's very annoying. Especially I remember when I was working from home during COVID, they were like, you're always in front of laptop. What are you doing? Come have meals with us. Not realizing I am in charge of the team. I have to be in the meeting. So sometimes my dinner will not be with them. It will be after time. So yeah, common
Wonderful.
stress.
Wonderful. I appreciate your honesty because this is something a lot of millennials and a lot of young people go through, particularly if you're living with your parents. They need to, okay, I know you're coming from an Indian setting. I wasn't born and brought up in India, but I know what it's like. This is where you really have to be gentle because it is not in their realm. Parents who have adult children, parents who have, I would say adult children, please spare your kids. I'm telling you, please spare your kids. Don't be at their neck all the time. They're already adults. And if you brought, let me tell you one very important thing. If you brought them up correctly, you have no reason to doubt your children's decisions and what they do. So at the end of the day, if you keep disturbing your adult children, it is evident that you're insecure as a parent. Let me get that very clear. I always tell parents this. Don't try to be over smart with your adult children. It only backfires at you. Please note, parents who have adult children, I'm very firm about it. Teenage children, you guide them, definitely. But adult children, do not breathe down their necks, telling them what to do and what not to do, forcing them into marriage when they don't want to. Oh, I've enough of that from parents from India. What do these children do? Do you think they're happy in their marriages? They're not. So coming back to your situation, you need to handle it according to your culture. If my children, I'm from a different culture, even though my roots are Indian. If my children come and tell me, Mom, you should not do that, I would sit down and think about it. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should give them some freedom. Maybe I should give them a chance to make their own decisions because I am confident that I brought them up correctly. So why am I now getting into their affairs? Remember, if you are a confident parent, you would have confident children. Bring them up with confidence, give them that liberty. You have no business in interfering in their life. All right? So Let's get back. I'll be good with that timer. Oh, am I done? 15 minutes? Oh, okay. As always, this is a very interesting kind of thing because it's really in me to guide people. So what I'm saying right now is when you have something, you must, okay, I'll come back to Namita's issue. If you have issues with your parents, understand how an Indian parent's mind works. An Indian parent who was born in, let's say, 1970s. You're probably born in 1990s or 2000. No, 1990s. You're definitely born in the 90s because I think you're like my daughter's age. So understand the generation gap. Sit down with them. They may not want to hear your justification, yes, but remind them you're working. And if you're in the office, there's no way they're going to disturb you. Come and have meals with us. Come and chit chat with us. No, there's no chit chat because you are bringing back bread into the family. You get my point? So you've got to tell them gently. That's Indian parents for you. No shouting at them. No telling them, hey, what are you doing in my life? No yelling, nothing. Be gentle with them. Spend some time with them and tell them, listen, dad, listen, however you call them, papa, mama, whatever. I'm doing my work because I want to build up my life. Wouldn't you want me to do that? Okay. There are many ways to solve problems. All of that boils down to whether you want to do it or not. Okay. And parents with adult children. Thank you. Parents with adult children, do not breathe down their necks. Their necks. You know, it's an idiomatic expression because if you do, I would tell the parent, you didn't bring up your children well. You are an insecure parent. That's why you're butting into your children's affairs. So sorry, I get very angry about this. Okay, back to you, Toastmaster of the day. I wish I could talk more. Toastmaster Raghu, I've completed my 20 minutes.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. I just got a message. Wonderful. Thank you very much for that topic and same time doing it through an exercise and not just some lecturing. It was impressive. And then as people are saying that, irrespective of their age, people go through this anxiety and it is necessary for us to manage it properly. But while we ponder upon that, it's time for our prepared speeches. And today we have a wonderful speech coming up by Shahid Sheikh from Hyderabad, India. But before I introduce the speaker, let me invite his speech evaluator, Toastmaster Jay.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raghu. Today, Shahid Sheikh is going to deliver a speech, which is first speech of evaluation and feedback project. Purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and also to serve as an evaluator during a club meeting. And in today's meeting, he will deliver first speech of this project, and he can deliver any well-organized speech on any topic. And he has got 5 to 7 minutes for this project. So over to you, Toastmaster Shahid.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Pramod, can you please check the message? Shahid, do you...
1 minute, I'm replying.
Okay. Shahid, can you please check your audio video again?
Yeah. Yes, Raghu. Am I audible, Raghu?
You say audible. Wonderful. Thank you.
My video is clear?
Yes, all clear. Toastmaster Shahid, embracing failures. Embracing failures, Toastmaster Shahid Sheikh.
Shall I start? A big research building is under fire. Everyone is moving here and there, but one guy sitting far and watching, and he told to his son to bring his mother and sister to enjoy the colorful flames. So his son got astonished. Why my father is saying like this? His whole research work is under fire, but still he is very cool. When he asked, and the father replied, I can start freshly. It's none other than a well-known scientist, Thomas Alva Edison. He is known for the invention of electric bulb. He did so many experiments. He has faced the failures, but he says, I have never failed. I have made different ways to identify what is the right. So now here comes our topic, friends, embracing the failures. Elon Musk, Jack Ma, Steve Jobs, they are well-known tycoons. We know all of them as very successful persons. Do you know how they become success? What is the struggle behind their success? And what are the things they have faced? What are the failures they have faced? And what are the things they embraced to reach to this success level? Not only them, in our day-to-day life, we will be watching so many movies. If you watch movies of the sports persons, you see what is the struggle they faced, what are the things they faced and how they overcome, and they reach the epic of the success. Before I deep dive into the topic, let me start with a quote. Failures are the stepping stones for the success. This we keep on hearing from our childhood. How many of us experienced it and how many of us learned from this? Everyone wants a success. Success is not a fruit on the tree where we can go and grab it. While getting the success, you will get so many failures. You have to steadfast to those failures. At this juncture, I could recollect a saying from Swami Vivekananda. Don't mind the failures. They are quite natural. They are the beauty of our life. Failure is not stopping our success. Failure will help us to reach to that success. What is embracing failure means? Embracing failure means accepting the flaws and understanding the situation well. Why we need to accept the flaws and need to understand the situation? Until we understand our flaws, how we will become the better version of ourselves. So standing here and giving a speech on a topic like embracing failure and motivating others is very easy. But when we are facing that situation, how we will be, how much pain we will be having. So in my life also, I have faced so many traumas. I will share you some of them. When I was in my final year of Master of Computer Application, there is a placement drive happened for Tata Consultancy Services. I have given all my written exam, technical and HR. So we were waiting for the results. So that day, due to some reasons, the results got delayed and we waited till late night. But still, we didn't get the result and those are postponed to next day. So in the next day, when the results were announced in the list, my name is not there. And I am completely blank. And again, I checked the list, but still the same result. My heart is very heavy and I've started sweating. My friends are calling me. I could not respond to them. And my eyes are filled with the tears. With the same heavy heart, I've reached to the home. Informed the same thing to the parents. They are also very upset. At that situation, job is very much needed for me. But still my parents consoled me. But on that whole day, all those interview things, those thoughts were only keep on going in my mind. I could not get out of that. And I was alone and I burst. I was started crying. And it took me a couple of weeks to come out of that situation. And after that, I've completed my MCA and I have moved to Hyderabad for the job search. While doing the job search, I have parallelly joined a technical course in the institute for technically upskilling myself. There also, I was parallelly attending the interviews. At that time, few I could able to complete in the written round, and some are getting failed at some other levels. But this time, that I don't have that much pain as before. Why? Because I have learned something from there, and so I am keep on going like this. So after completion of my technical course, as Bangalore is having more opportunities, I moved to Bangalore. There also I had one big trauma. For one company called Cognizant Services, I have attended 3 times as a fresher. In all the 3 times, I could able to successfully complete the written round. At the first time, I failed at the group discussion level. Second time, I failed at the technical discussion level. And the third time, I'm successful in both the group discussion and the technical, and I've attended the HR also. This time I'm hoping I will definitely get the job, but still I did not get the job. This situation made me a bit courageous and bit strong. If not this organization, we will get in some other organization. So I kept on trying, and later I got a job in some other good organization, and I continued my journey as a software engineer. Failures will come. Why they will come means to nourish us, to polish us, to bring our skills inside us. Then only if you face the failures, then only the real potential comes out. Nowadays, if you see outside, for every small reason, suicides were happening. Whether it is a exam failure, not getting a job, not getting married, or marital disturbances, or job stress, all these are the reasons. All these reasons, they're simply taking a decision of death. Instead of embracing the failure, they are embracing the death. Why this is happening? This is happening because the self-help is lacking in them. They are not self-motivated. They just grown up like that. They are not self-motivated. If you are self-motivated, you can stick to the situation, you can learn from it, and you can work upon it, and you will be the better version of yourself. So doing something which leads to a difficulty, still you are doing, that means you are in a good situation. Let me conclude with a famous quotation in our ad, डर के आगे जीत है. So be brave, embrace the failures, and it's the time to mind of all the pressures. So thank you for the opportunity. Over to you, Toastmaster Raghu.
Well, thank you very much, Toastmaster Shahid Sheikh. This is one of my favorite quote from the advertisement of Mountain Dew. Dar ke aage jeet hai. There's always success behind when you keep your fears behind, right? Wonderful and good speech. I know our evaluator will have something to help you on this front. I will not comment. I'll keep my lips sealed. But for now, it's time to have some fun-filled learning. And who else can we have for this section? Distinguished Toastmaster Pramod, who will be helping as a table topic master for today. I'll let him speak. What is this section about and how is he going to lead? All yours, Pramod.
District officers, distinguished Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the day, Mr. President, fellow and future Toastmasters. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I would say this is the most interesting session in a Toastmasters meeting because it helps you develop your ability to think on your feet and speak off the cuff. I can see a lot of guests here, so I'm just telling you the rule of the game. I'll invite a Toastmaster or a guest to give you a topic. You have 30 seconds to think about the topic, organize your thought, and give a speech. Timer, please note that the time sequence is 1 minute is the qualifying time for any speaker. In 1 minute, 30 seconds, he or she will see an yellow card, and 2 minutes, the red card will be on the stage. And after that, the speaker will get 30 seconds to wrap up the speech with a beautiful conclusion. We are ready to go. I need an experienced Toastmaster for my first topic just to give a demo to the guest. And the rule is if your videos are on, I would definitely invite you. It's a combination of guest and Toastmaster. And this is the only session where the guest will be allowed to speak. I can see Anand is switching on his video. That's quite encouraging gesture, Anand. May I call upon our area director, Rhoda Lynch, as a demo speaker? Rhoda, are you ready?
I am ready, Toastmaster Pramod.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rhoda. Your topic is, do you believe in a life after your death?
Thank you, Table Topics Master, for that question. Yes, I actually do believe in life after death. My own upbringing and my religious persuasion teaches me about life after death. And it always encourages me that this life is not all that there is, but I have the opportunity to make the most that there is, understanding there's limited time. I don't consider it a trauma of going through this life because I anticipate that by learning through this life and by appreciating what there is, that it will inform what my life would be after death. I find that in a way, appreciating that there's life after death is a way to handle the stress of this life. That it is not just this that I'm living with, but that there is hope after death. There is hope for my friends and families who are dying, that this is not just it, that I have the opportunity to meet them after life. When I have anxiety of my family or myself dying, one of the ways I can take my mind off that stress is to appreciate that this is just a time to live, an opportunity to use to take on afterlife, and that there is always hope. No matter what happens, no matter what I'm going through, there is hope because I can get over that anxiety, that trauma for now, and that there's always an opportunity, even after death, to be able to accomplish all I need to accomplish and to celebrate what I live now. So thank you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rhoda. That was fantastic. Now request Anand Murkote to unmute. Anand,
Yes.
you are an upcoming writer and you are going to write your first book. You know what is the title of the book? How to manage your in-laws for a peaceful and interesting life. Could you give us a summary on the book in 2 minutes?
Okay, can you just repeat the title of the book, please?
How to manage your in-laws for a happy and peaceful life.
Wow, very dramatic topic, I can say.
First day, 1 lakh copies. 100,000 copies on the very first day.
Okay. Let me definitely, this topic needs definitely 30 seconds of time. Okay, good morning, fellow Toastmasters. The topic about the book, I think it's very important. We, first of all, keep happy your own wife. If you keep all the efforts to keep all the, give all the happiness to your wife with all the things which you have, I think it will definitely indirectly take care of the in-laws. So in that book, whatever I'm going to write, I think it's very important that how you build a good relationship with your wife by keeping all these things. And most important thing is that you need to understand and to have a good relationship to avoid the traumatic situation in your life. I think you need to take your wife to a different kind of situation, maybe take her mind off and take care of the in-laws. And also important thing is that we need to keep have some regular meetings and have some regular get together with your in-laws to build all the good relationships. I think that will definitely help you to keep and have your own life peaceful and take your mind off in the situation. I think this is the important thing which is coming to my mind as of now. So I think by giving this topic, Toastmaster Pramod has made me in a traumatic situation as I am answering from my home. It's very difficult for me. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Pramod.
Thank you, Anand. Thank you so much. I can see guests. Now we are your guest or a Toastmaster?
I'm part of the team.
Okay. You are a Toastmaster. Okay. Your topic is love is free. Accept it.
Can you please repeat? Love is free?
Love is free. Accept it.
Accept it. Okay.
Yeah. Agree or disagree. You can talk yes or no.
Yeah, thank you for the topic. So my topic for the day is love is free. So I completely agree with the topic. I think in our life there are so many material things which require money to be purchased, right? But love, if you want to give love or you want to receive love, that is completely free. It's our own choice that if you want to love someone or dislove someone. Like it applies to even relationships and in even big friendship. Like we can love our friends, we can have good relation with them. It's up to us, and it brings our own selves happiness and peace. Like if we start liking and loving others, seeing their perspective, like if they are getting angry or if they are behaving in a certain way, if you try to understand why they are behaving in a certain way and accept them as it is and love them, then like it will improve our relations also, and it will keep our own selves in mental peace and happy, right? And like from our childhood, like we see that we have loving parents. Like parents are selflessly, they are actually loving us, but sometimes we don't tend to understand it. Like if we, so it's our own responsibility that we love them back, we try to understand their emotions, right? And even love applies to all stages of life, and it is completely free. We just have to put our efforts in loving people and make our relations good. Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen. Thank you. Good attempt. I can't see more videos getting switched on. Mr. J.K. Arora is there. Arora, Mr. Arora, are you ready?
Yes. Good morning. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you a simple topic. Only a good actor can be a good spouse.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Yeah. Everyone has to act in his life. Means emotionally or anything, starting from a child, if he has to take something from his parent, he has to act. Because if you are emotional, you cry and you get it. So acting start from how better you act, how better you get it from your parents. Like you have a sibling, and a sibling who perform better get a better thing. Means I have my three. I have my brother and sister. So my sister get, because she performs better emotionally, and she get all the things. Being I'm elder, I do not. I feel responsible, so I could not get what my parents give to my sister. So acting start from beginning, and as you grow, the better you act, the better you get it in your life. So just to brief it up. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I think my time is over, and whatever topics I have included, or I got as a solution for what Dr. Mary's topic she suggested, the stress and everything. These are the solutions from my side. Let me conclude this session and hand it over to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you. I really enjoyed. I hope you also enjoyed the topics. Thank you.
Very much. The topic on writing book on managing in-laws was the best. I hope somebody comes up with that. Doesn't matter whether you are a male or a female. Everybody has some other problem with in-laws. Well, coming back to our main topic, rather meeting, now it's time to get your breakfast or lunch or dinner, whichever part of world you are in. And as they say, feedback is the breakfast for champions, and everyone in the room is a champion. So we'll get feedback for our breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Let us see what our role players have to give us as the feedback. First, it's time to give feedback to the speaker. While every part of world you are judged, and people tell you not to do this, not to do that, you are that, and you are this. In Toastmasters, they give you constructive feedback on CRC methodology. Let me invite the speech evaluator for speaker Shahid, Toastmaster Dr. Jay Kumar Sejpal. Jay, up to you.
Thank you, Raghu. So Toastmaster Shahid took us to a journey of his mental trauma and how he took his mind off from that trauma. It was very engaging from the beginning. He told us very relatable story, and he gave a very relatable examples of various personality. And while listening to his speech, I remember my journey of some of my failed interview, and I think most of us can relate well in corporate life. Whoever has given the interviews, when we don't get any news from HR or don't get any positive response, how frustrated we feel. That we could relate very well. Also, he gave a cure for that. Like he had told us that he developed the mindset, he developed the confidence, and he developed the mindset that what we learn from the experience is more important rather than failure. And failure is just the way things didn't work and how we can improve from that. He also described very well his personal trauma, how he applied for multiple interviews and was getting frustrated when he didn't hear back from HR on his job interview outcome. Today's his speech was well matching with the theme of the today, which is stress and anxiety. So overall, a very well prepared and well delivered speech. Only few things I would suggest which can be improved. Like in initial part of his speech, it was full of many quotes from various personalities. So quotes are good, but like when we put so many quotes, it may derail the main topic. I would suggest rather he can start initially with his personal experience, personal story, and how he was getting frustrated by the rejection he was getting from various organizations. Then he can come to the motivational part and what he learned from various personalities, famous personalities, and reading from Swami Vivekananda and all. And then towards the end, though he described well his personal trauma, but however, I feel that from the story arc, the part which was missing, that how did he implicated all those learnings which he learned from the failures and how he became successful and what is his current status now and how he overcome all these failures and how successful and happy he is now with all his learnings. So I think if he can add a bit more and make the story arc complete with the conclusion that how successful he is now and how happy and how satisfied he is now with the current progress, then this speech would be at another level. So overall, it was a very well delivered speech pertaining to issues of various trauma and failures we face in the life. Only with a few changes and making the story complete and conclusive, I think this speech would be at another level. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jay. Suddenly, the speech is in line with the theme today, embracing failures. Shahid, well done. Good job. But adding to whatever Jay has mentioned, if you can work upon also time management, because the timings for this speech was just 5 to 7 minutes. Next time you're speaking, try to wrap up with the time. I know you have some timing issue for practicing. Next time you can come prepared. All the best for your next speech when you have to repeat the speech or can give any speech in this place. At this time, it's time to get feedback more on how we did in our meeting. Let me invite the timer for today, Toastmaster Namita, to tell us how we are doing on timing and how can we improve our timing.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raghu. So for timings, Mary took in her keynote speech 22 minutes, 21 seconds. Shahid took 9 minutes, 17 seconds. For table topics, everyone qualified. I don't think I need to give each and every timing for table topics. They are qualified and they're not over time. And for evaluation, Toastmaster Jaykumar took 3 minutes, 30 seconds. That's all from me. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Namita. Toastmaster Vrunda, do you want to present your Akota report?
Yes, certainly. Thank you for this opportunity. My job today was very easy because I didn't have too many hours that I had to count. So most of the meeting was where I was sitting and listening attentively to the speeches. But there were a few moments where I had to notice. So again, DTM Mary, who was the keynote speaker of the day, no ahs and ums as usual. So thank you, Dr. Mary. That was great. Speaker Shahid, he was very good at avoiding pauses, avoiding ahs, but he used the opportunity by, putting some pauses out there. So there were several short and long pauses and just a few ahs. So I think that when I counted, it was about 2 to 3 ahs, but the short and long pauses were more than 4. So that's an area for improvement. On the table topics, because it was table topics, most of us were unprepared. So it was natural to have these ahs and ums. But Toastmaster Rhonda did an excellent job. I just could count 1 ah in her speech. Guest Anand, over 6 hours, and the phrase all the was repeated a few times. Guest Toastmaster Navya, about 5 to 6 hours. The JK Arora, about 5+ hours. And for evaluator Jay, the phrase like was repeated a few times, and there were just a few sprinkles of hours around there. And that's my report for the day. And back to you, Toastmaster Raghu.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vrunda. Now it's time to know how we are doing in our language. As I call this role as the English teacher of the day, grammarian for today is Distinguished Toastmaster Lakshmi. Lakshmi, can you please present your report?
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghu. Hello, everyone. The English teacher is back again with her report. However, it was a very engrossing meeting and I was struggling to note down the good usages and the number of people who were using the word of the day and the idiom of the day, which was very encouraging. So now I'll quickly move to my report. I'll start with the good usages. Dr. Mary Thomas used words in touch with reality, underneath, fatigue, ridiculous. Toastmaster Rakhu used impressive, ponder, constructive feedback. Toastmaster Shahid used the quote, failures are the stepping stone to success. Distinguished Toastmaster Pramod used the word gesture. Guest area director Toastmaster Rhonda used the word accomplish. The not so good usages, though they are very few. Someone said suicides were happening, which in that context should have been suicides happened. Someone said mental peace and happy, which should have been mental peace and happiness. Someone said theme of the today, which should have been today's theme. And someone used the word overcome, which in that particular context should have been overcame. The word of the day were used by Dr. Mary Thomas more than once, Toastmaster Shahid more than once, guest, area director, Toastmaster Rhonda, Toastmaster Anand, Toastmaster Jaykumar more than once. The idiom of the day was used by area director, Toastmaster Rhonda, and guest Anand. Let us give a good round of applause for all those people who have used the word of the day and idiom of the day today. So that concludes my report. Over to you, Toastmaster Rakhu. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lakshmi. I have posted a link for your feedback in the chat. Please take 1 to 2 minutes of your time to share your feedback on the meeting today. I hope you enjoyed this meeting today and have something to take back as a learning. Sattvic Toastmasters is planning to charter by this month end. We just need 6 more members to charter this club. If any one of you is interested to join this club, please share your details with us and we'll get in touch with you. With that note, I adjourn the meeting officially and we are open for taking feedback and